I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This 20B has been kicking our ass. And it all kind of makes sense. It's one of the biggest reasons as to why rotaries aren't the most popular engine setup out there. They are just so complicated and so much different than your traditional RBs, JZs, LSs, you name it. In the last video, you guys saw us assemble the 20B and finish all the fabrication, all the charge piping, the fueling system, pretty much everything this car needed to actually run. But it's been nearly a week and we're still not there yet. We've had to go throughout the car and refix a whole bunch of things, retighten things down, found fittings that were wrong, anything that you could have accidentally skipped over or forgot to do, what was exactly what happened. Now, the Vargas brothers left after we finished that fabrication video, which means we were left on our own to finish up our job, which we were totally willing and capable to do. We've been doing just that. Today, we are finally ready to start this car and have it run on its own so we can finally hear it. We have fixed everything. We are ready to go for a first start. So I'm gonna roll the footage of us cranking this car for the first time without any coolant in the car. So it's just a matter of getting it to crank over one time, make sure everything is good on Ian's harness because everything was made. So much stuff to catch you guys up on, but check it out. While Ian is setting up the ECU, I'm gonna go ahead and fill the car with oil for the first time. And as always, we're gonna be using Valvoline VR1. We're gonna go at 1030. I don't know what the oil capacity of a 20B is. So we're just gonna fill it up and check it after like 4 or 5 quarts of oil. But this is exciting. This is a big moment.
No, that's good with this.
It is so sensitive.
We are ready to go for a start.
All right, I'm excited. We don't have coolant in the system yet.
Yes.
We're going to just go to attempt to start it, get it to turn over for a little bit, and then once we know it's good, then we'll turn it off, put on our last bit of hoses, and put coolant in it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, let's do it. There's still a few things that are disconnected. We don't have the charge piping hooked up yet. We don't have our IAT sensor hooked up yet. This is just to crank it, get it started, kill it, and then we'll put everything back together.
That was satisfying.
Ah!
So
It wanted it.
close.
It wanted it.
So close.
Ian, it wanted it. Oh! It was almost there. You can't tell behind the camera, but hey, can you guys shut up? Thank you. It smells so good. It reminds me of when I was in New Zealand like 5 years ago when I was hanging out with Mad Mike for that week and I was in his shop with all the rotaries. It smells so good.
I don't think you know that was my mic.
I did.
Yeah, I don't
Mad Mike.
Insert the clip here.
Really experienced it, so I want you to scare
I
them.
told you, we're besties.
I don't think it's... That was sick. It was almost all worth it.
Let's go. Let's go.
So after that, we checked for leaks, we checked for things that looked a little bit off, and we decided to add coolant in the car. And now we're gonna go for its full start, letting it run and idle. And this is the part that we have all been waiting for. But I'm sad to say there is a pretty big problem with this car, and I'll show you guys the problem once we do the first start and get through all of that stuff, because I think that's why we're all here.
Dylan, what are your thoughts on 20Bs after this past week?
Ask me on Friday, because I really want to like them.
By Friday, you mean 3 days from now?
Yeah,
once
ask me
most
next
of this
week
is all
when
done.
the date is probably the 4th of November. Right now, you know, you always hit a little bit of frustration. I don't know. I like it. They sound so cool. I'm a big rotary fan.
It's just,
But right now, I'm not a big
it's
rotary
just
fan.
so complicated.
There's just a lot of like,
There's
of
like
lines.
twice the amount of lines,
Yeah.
twice the amount of like ports.
It's like frustrating because like it's so small. It's so small and simple. Like,
And you
it's-
think like,
it's
oh,
this big.
smaller, gonna be less complicated.
Yeah, but there's just so much to do with it and so much to make it work right and all this stuff.
There's a very clear reason as to why these things are like
known as like wizardry in our car world.
They're witchcraft.
And there's so many there's like so many people, but so few little people that this is their craft. And I wanted to say this now because I know there's gonna be comments down below. I'll be like, Cheech, why don't you hit up Rob Dom? Me and Rob have been homies for like almost 10 years now. And I have been talking with Rob throughout this whole entire build. He's been super interested. He was gonna come down while the Vargas brothers were here. The timing just didn't match up, but I'm trying to get Rob to come down later this week once we get this car running, and maybe he can have a hand in the tuning process. But he alone was like, Tej, I wanna come down and I just wanna see that car. I wanna see it. So Rob will hopefully be in one of these videos coming up, if not the next video. Rob has answered a lot of questions for me from different premixer run and everything. So Rob will be involved at some point. At least just to come and see it and to get both of our Rx-7s together. So stay tuned for that. You guys see Selena right here? If the last time I drove Selena, we got first place at a Pro-Am competition. Do you wanna know why we got first place at a Pro-Am competition? That's because I use AG1 in my coolant system, so my car is as healthy as possible. Okay, I don't really use AG1 in my car, but I do use AG1 for myself, and it makes me a podium-winning driver. If you don't believe me, take a look above. See all those trophies? Do you think I would have all these trophies without AG1? The answer is no. Ever since I started taking AG1, I've finally been getting enough support from my immune system. I've been getting more greens into my body. Ever since I started drinking AG1, my focus and energy has been increased. My stress, resilience, and mood balance has been better, so I'm less to crack on the boys when I'm feeling some type of way in the morning. It's good. But that wasn't for you. And I'm finally getting the greens and vitamins that I need for my body that I just sometimes miss on the day-to-day life. And with AG1, you're getting your daily dose of vitamin C, zinc, and functional mushrooms, and more overall support for your immune health. And right now, by visiting the link down below in my description, you guys can become a champion yourself. With my link, you guys will get a free bottle supply of the AG Vitamin D3 plus K3, plus 5 free AG1 travel packs that you guys can take with you on the go with your first purchase from AG1. So use my link down below, become a champion, and take better care of yourself. It's important. As we get older, we need to be very mindful of that stuff. Thank you, AG1, for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back to it. All right, so one of the biggest problems that we were kind of running into is the fact that we didn't have a belt. And getting a belt for this, at every store that we needed to have a 29.5-inch belt, like, didn't have it. So we actually found a 3-rib belt rather than a 5-rib belt, and it's gonna work for now. The reason why we need a belt is because we need the alternator to keep the car going, and also we need something to pull the water pump. This instance, like I've been kind of telling you guys, this car has just been a struggle. A lot of learning lessons with this car, which is good, but it just sucks because I'm really trying to get a video out for you guys. I don't want to be like over apologetic, but like I wanted to have this video for you guys last week, and we've all been busting our ass to get this video out. So for now, this belt will work. We'll have a new one, the proper one on order. There was just nothing locally that had it.
We have 4 on order.
Yeah, we have so many belts on order. But the fact that that is ready, there also is another like major problem with this engine that I'll tell you guys at the end of this video. That's another issue, but we'll stay to the end of the video. I'll go over everything. But given everything that's off the car, we should have enough to run this car safely, have it get coolant, we can bleed the coolant, we can run the car and get a good base tune on it for the time being. We were gonna literally run both.
So you're saying I don't have to use these to run the alternator and the water pump anymore?
I'm glad we didn't, because they would have eaten us alive.
For the record, I would have sat here just like this. Well, that's the wrong size. But
we're willing to do anything to get this video out for you guys. We wanted to get this out last week, so bear with us here. But we are gonna throw Mike on TeamViewer and have him sit with Ian as he does this, but we're finally ready to let this thing run and hopefully not run into any other issues. All right, belt is on. Let's try to get this thing started. Jeez, that was loud. Oh my God. Higher. We're adjusting the idle. More idle.
There's only like 3 positions to potentially adjust idle. And this one right here is the one I'm gonna go for now, but it'll only adjust the top 2. We thought this was one. Doesn't seem like it, so I'm just gonna adjust this to open the throttle blades a little bit more.
You know a rotary's starting when that's what you see.
Can't breathe. Yeah, you can't breathe. I'm not trying, it's just a 20 beat. Who started a 20 beat? Who started a 20 beat? Who decided to start building a 20 beat?
Alright, I got a few more into it. I can adjust it.
like rotary. That's no turbo. Yeah. That is no turbo. That's just running without it. That wow. Dude. So this is just like a rough bass tune. The fueling map isn't done yet. We finally got it to a point with the idle set screw where we're getting that Bridgeport idle. But that's no turbo. Very rough tune. And that all those revs were just to 4,000.
When it dropped, it went da 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 da.
Dude, I was like, oh. We're gonna shut it down here for a list of reasons. And if you stay to the end of the video, we'll go through it. So. One, there's a few things we still need to fix. As you guys saw in the beginning of the video, this isn't the proper belt size. The whole charge piping isn't assembled. The IATs aren't on. Our wastegate isn't plumbed yet. You know, those are all things that are relatively simple that we can fix pretty quickly. But what we discovered late last night was that when we were running our heater core hose to finish our coolant lines, we noticed there was one barb we're coming off of right on the back here. Now I want to call this a block. Is it considered a block if it's a rotary and not like
I don't know.
I don't know if it is. So I'm gonna
say end plate.
See that area right there? There's an AN barb right here that we have this heater line on, and beyond the casting there, it keeps sweating. And we were like, is this fitting not tight? We can't tighten. And after a while,
usually it sweats on the bottom.
Yeah, and it's sweating on top.
So the fact that it's sweating on top was pretty alarming, but we, you know, kind of went through it, and then.
So there is a crack on the iron. And the only way to fix that is to now strip everything in this area and get nickel rod and weld the crack shut and clean the whole surface. Oh, yeah. So it's one of the biggest reasons as to why we left all this stuff off, is because we did today's startup and it's very slight tuning just to get it running for you guys so you could hear it, because we're farther than we wanted to be on this video, and I really wanted to push to make it work with this situation. So this car isn't the most ideal representation of the car we're building, but we limped it. We made it work in this situation to run safely and all that stuff, but we're gonna have to spend the next week or so in the midst of all the SEMA stuff. We're gonna have to weld that, fix it, and finish the rest of the car. We still have a couple couplers that are tired, that are leaking, that we need to go and fix. There's a good 30 to 40 hours of work we need to do on this before we can do this all over again when the car is sitting on the ground and we can actually start driving it and start adjusting our maps for driving and boost. Technically, Vargas welders want this to go through a break-in cycle as well. So before we get to peak boost, we're gonna put a tune on it that's very moderate to break it in to whatever that means in the rotary world. I don't know, get the apex seals seated. I don't know rotaries.
Don't look at him. Don't look at me.
Ian doesn't know rotaries.
I do. You're looking at me like I know. There's a Dorito in there going like this.
I mean, yeah.
So Winkle or whatever.
As you guys know, we're prepping for SEMA right now. We have a lot of things going on. And speaking of SEMA, there's a specific car that I have a video coming with tomorrow that you'll want to stay posted for. That's all I'll say. It will all make sense in a little bit, but there's a lot of stuff going on in the back end right now, and I know this video is a little bit shorter, but I really wanted to get this out because I feel like we owed it to you guys. So everyone here has been literally busting their ass to get this car where this is. So shout out to the team and the boys for making this happen. And we're gonna come back later next week with this thing all the way buttoned up, and we're gonna get this car on the road and see what the 20B is all about. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I owe you guys a pretty big video coming up next, so stay posted. I'll see you guys in the next one. And hey, if you are gonna be at SEMA, we'll be there. In the description, I'll leave my meet and greet schedule and where you can buy tickets to SEMA. If you've never been, I highly recommend you come check it out. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Peace out. And keep moving forward.
And now that you've stayed around for the end credits, if anyone has, Tremec T56 Magnum F or 4.8 that they want to donate or sell, I think there's a car that might need that in the very near future.
Yes.
This car.
Comments, we get it. The 5-speed and OS Geiken diff won't survive. We get it.
I sure hope these bombs under me don't explode.
T56, we know we have to do it.